Did you ever go back into bodyguard work after that?
No.
So that was it.
Yeah, that was
You
it.
don't want to be back in that type of situation ever again.
No.
Can't blame you.
No, not at all.
I can't blame you.
Not at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, man. I think I would find a new career choice as well. If ultimately every time you get in the situation, you might potentially be back in trial again just for doing your job.
Yeah.
And the next time it might not go so well, because ultimately in your mind, in your point of view, you feel like you did the right thing. But when it comes to courtrooms, it's not always about the truth. It's about who has the better lawyer, who has the better witnesses. At the end of the day, they could have had some superstar witnesses that told a great story, true or not.
Right.
They could have swayed the jury into thinking, hey, this guy shot him in the back. There was an argument. He was the aggressor and he should be in jail for life.
But then, once again, you found out that it was not in the back.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. But the prosecution was trying to paint their own version of the story.
Right.
And ultimately, it comes down to who could tell the better story. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I feel you. So you left bodyguarding altogether.
Yeah, definitely.
Never went back.
No.
And went on to live a happy life. Happily married.
Definitely.
More kids?
More kids. I got kids.
Had more kids?
Yes. I have kids.
Yeah.
A lot of boys. Yeah.
And you and Snoop never actually talked again?
No, we talked again. I mean, we talked. We haven't spoken recently, but I did get a chance to see him again, and we did get a chance to talk a little bit, but not to the extent of really what I wanted. You know, I would love to sit down and have some conversation about some things that where we are in our life right now, because this is the point in our lives where it's all about helping and giving back.
Right.
I think that's what we're supposed to be doing. So it'll happen.
Yeah, and listen, Snoop's star just continued to rise.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the biggest rap star at one point, and then became one of the biggest stars, period.
Definitely.
Bigger than rap music. You could find people all around the world that have never heard a single rap song, but know exactly who Snoop is. I mean, he's doing cooking shows with Martha Stewart. He's doing commercials. He's like just doing a whole bunch of stuff that you never thought a quote unquote gangster rapper will ever accomplish, but he's really surpassed everyone's expectations, probably including his own.
Yeah, well, that's why I told you it's not a title about a person.
Yeah.
Right. It's who the person is.
Yeah. And Dr. Dre became hip hop's first billionaire.
Definitely.
Tupac, whose life did get cut short, became the greatest rapper of all time. You'd be hard pressed to find someone make a top 5 list without including Tupac.
Definitely.
In that list, and usually that spot is number 1. Death Row released an unbelievable catalog that's still, unbelievably impactful to this day. I mean, in fact, you could even say that really the West Coast hip hop scene in general all sort of came out of that family tree.
It did.
Later on, Dre signed Eminem, and then 50 Cent, and then Kendrick Lamar, and all these mega stars and these deeply influential people all came out of that group of people that you were associated with.
Definitely.
And you got to see those projects come together and go from, a couple guys in the studio to being worldwide hits and being impactful in every corner of the world. So, you really got to experience it.
Yeah.
You had to pay for that experience, unfortunately, spending a year in solitary and facing life in prison. But ultimately, you walked away from it, and it seems like you accepted everything that came with it. You accepted your responsibility with it, and went on to live a good life. Is that fair to say?
It's fair to say. And this is the beginning of a whole new era.
There you go.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Malik, man, I appreciate you sharing your story, man. It was a lot. It was a lot to get out of. A lot to really speak about. A very serious situation, and it seems like you have a lot of regret over what happened. You didn't glorify it or glamorize it, and I wouldn't be surprised if at one point you and the family actually did speak with one another. If they haven't seen the other interview, I'm pretty sure they'll see this one.
Appreciate it.
And if anyone ever reaches out to me about it, I will gladly connect you guys. Um, because I think ultimately you can't live your life with anger and bitterness and so forth. I'd even heard that, for example, like Pop Smoke's family is willing to get together with the family of the guys who killed him and talk about it. Just talk about what a loss it is.
It is.
You know, um,
Well, I will say this, that, that if you could arrange that, that's on my heart. I've always wanted that.
you've always wanted that.
I've always wanted
I'll
it.
work on it. I'll work on it.
It's needed.
I know a lot of people. I'll see if
That's
I
needed.
can. I'll see if I can connect the dots and try to get a hold of the family somehow.
And also too, that's a. Why don't we talk about the things that have been done positively? You know what I mean? We have to sit and we have to have these conversations over unfortunate situations. With the power, that you have, and others like you. What about putting together summits like that? What about putting together those positive rappers and those positive artists and those positive people that can really make a change and make a difference in what we're doing, so we don't have any situations? That's what I want, and that's the direction that I've always wanted, and that's where I'm going. So that's something you should really look into and make happen. There's a lot out there that's not seen, that needs to be seen and talked about and blown up and magnified and glorified. So as a community of people, we don't have this type of failure, because we know how we have people in front of us that we can use and see as examples and really do it the right way. Because we see the gangster rap and all this other stuff that's being glorified, but what's really behind that? There's a lot of fear going on, right? Because they don't know how to do things. They don't really know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of broken families.
Yeah.
There's a need for a father figure, which, certain gangs will provide.
Mm-hmm.
There's a feeling that there's not a bright future ahead. So you do things not thinking about the future.
Right.
You don't care about the repercussions of it all. It's all about how you feel right now and the emotion around it. There's lack of opportunities. There's lack of education. There's a lot of things, and, you also can't deny that the music fuels some of it as well.
That's why music is so powerful.
Yeah.
That's why it's so powerful.
I remember, interviewing the guy, Lorenzo from the World Class Wrecking Crew, talking about how before NWA, there really weren't a lot of gang members in LA. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, yeah, there were some, but it wasn't popularized until NWA became this multi-platinum group. And of course, Dr. Dre was involved in that and so forth. And, you fast forward to 2021 and everyone wants to be a Crip or a Blood.
What does the world revolve around?
Yeah, Chris Brown
Right.
claims blood, who has nothing to do with that. Lil Wayne claims to be a Blood. There's all this gang affiliation where people are millionaires and they want to go and affiliate themselves with something that they had nothing to do with. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of things that could be fixed and could be improved, and this is why I have these types of conversations with people. And whenever I have people who sit down with me, it's never to glamorize anything. It's
Right.
to talk about, what happened, what was learned from it, and how things can improve. That's always been my goal with Vlad TV. But, I appreciate you coming in and sharing your story,
Appreciate
man. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Until next time.
Okay.
Peace.
Peace.